Sharpie had like a
Like, bro, if you have a gym and you do that, that's cool. But you can't walk into someone else's gym and demand everybody goes along with your white mentality.
It's crazy, you know. Almost all of the great teams. But you know, whatever.
Well, with you, Leo, maybe explore some fun colors. Have you had the opportunity? You know, I think you might. Yeah, I think you might have done something great.
Well, you did. But you know, we're here. Like you see it now out. All right, guys. Everybody, what's up down there? Okay, so we're gonna use some words to take down some more and really just like what to do when somebody. We either need to stay in base or we need to attack counter. Okay. So and then too, just like we're using some of our takedown off. You know, essentially all hip throws, which you can go to leg throws and say an augie. The same frequency. Not time standard right. So the big mistake a lot of us are making is hearing about you. Okay. So we're gonna do some standing warm up for the work placement of the takedown. Okay. And then we'll also move around a little bit on the ground with the warm up, talking about the four directions. Okay. So let's everybody circle up. Good. Okay, so this is just sort of a classic judo warm up. We're going to step in here. This could be a say an augie, or it could be a hip throw. Right? So I step across. Right? Anytime I see Mr. Grant teach this, he calls it a round step. Right? Just look, I'm stepping, going around the corner, boom. So my feet need to be like this if I'm doing a hip technique or a shoulder throw. A lot of us are accidentally here. Okay? This is better balance and base when you're doing that technique. Okay, so let's just everybody do this on your own. You can go both sides. Good. Okay. Now, I think the reason that we're getting confused on this footwork is, you know, I think we're confusing it with this one, which is not a hip throw. It's what in judo they call it a hand technique. It looks like a leg throw. My leg didn't, you know, have an action to it, that it's kind of throttled it. But here, that's tied toes. So I think a lot of times we hit those something like this, and look, I just don't have the balance. Right? What we need on a hip throw is we need to step like this. Look how both feet are under his face. Okay? So that's kind of some reasoning behind that. We will look at that as a throw a little bit today. So we can go right in from that side. Okay? Now let's everybody just on our backs. Look, we got this side to side here. And then we can move backwards or forward from that. Okay? We can move also left and right with that. East and west. Backwards and forward. Keep your feet on the floor. Just get mobility. Practice your leg grabs like your knee on belly. Get an arm triangle escape. Practice that. Some shoulder walking in there. Good. All right. Okay, so let's go over counters that somebody pulls, right? And then you'll have several fit ins that you can do from here. So this will be a review stuff we've been working on. Okay. So Justin grabs one of my wrists and pulls. Yeah, he pulls here. I want to step back in base. My elbow's coming up, and I can engage however I want. Okay. So there's that. Now, whatever side he grabs, if he grabs this side, right? I want that ring. I'm coming up with the elbow. If he's got a 2-on-1, you may need to strengthen that by grabbing inside. Okay? And then again, you can grip, clinch, engage however you want, right? So that's just the basic, right? So if I grab one of his wrists and I start pulling, he drops back in the base there. Okay? If I really am just pulling and you're not working on that, the more he points the knee at me, the more he'll have the ability for his hips to go back. Right? And then I'm essentially doing the same thing. It's almost like I'm on speed. This one's still out a little bit. Right? There. Back up. Okay, so grab the single hand. The more he pulls, the more I go down, my knee is pointing and my hips are back. Right? So that's that. Now, here's another thing. Let's say he grabs here and he pulls with an arm grab. Right? We did going behind him for the Tani and Toshi. I can just drop here. That's what we worked on last couple of classes. Okay, so grab again. That's that throw. Now, if he steps a foot back when he drags, right, I can go into a leg grip, whether that's oval shield or toe. Okay, if he steps back there, yep. And then we got to start winning this knee shield battle. And then lastly, the most basic one ever, if he grabs my knee, like a Jiu Jitsu or Judo person would, and he pulls me. So, look. Yes. It's fundamental. It's a fist throw in Judo. Right? So look, if we engage, we do the little slap bump thing. We're here, and I pull Justin, he's just coming straight in. As soon as somebody pulls you, you go the direction they're pulling. Right? Now, so you just need to be able to find base against somebody pulling, release the grips. That's how you stay in control. Deny, that's the most basic level of denying somebody getting control first. Okay? Then, somebody arm drags you, we got inside trip throws or outside knee throws. Right? Somebody just pulls my knee like a Jiu-Jitsu person would do. Also. Right? So, for time, pull my knee. Boom. Big hit. One more on this one.
Justin, you dead, man.
Hey, did you see Jamaica won its first medal since Usain Bolt? They haven't won a medal, according to what Drake heard him say on the TV, since at Worlds or Olympics. But then these new sprinters, and I don't know if that's true. You look on the fact check. But isn't that crazy? But it was pretty cool.
Heck of a dude winning gold and
Like 300 pounds. So I heard that Ryan here, however you pronounce his last name. I did not know he was that big. I thought he was like 6'4" or 250. He's 6'8". 6'8", 308.
dude, that's 3 inches on him, 3 or 5 inches on him. He's got
That's time like you're not in base. What happens?
It's only, by the way, he won with the Horizon. I saw that.
well, and he like got it. He won
I
just
feel like
like
it was pretty, that's probably 6'2", 268.
step back. Step opposite. Then.
Yes. And of course, when we're ready, they go the whole way. And I can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
But like, I can already tell, I feel way off. It's like, well, I thought I was going to do something with this dude. It's not. We're like, if somebody's I started saying, well, like, where what's up, bro? Yeah, like that, like,
What was it? Arm drag.
yeah, so if I go here, like if I don't step back, you got options. You can do, if I stay square, he was stepping here and keep him taking this hand over. Like that. Yeah, see how I'm already going?
Okay. That one's going to be in front no matter what.
Oh, really?
Right?
Okay, my bad.
When he's dragging.
Arm drag. You got the trip or you got the pick up and drop.
Yes, but look, the trip needs to be here.
Yes, sir.
Right? Like a frame. So, and then if he steps that leg back as he drags, it's the same thing here.
Okay. So depending on what he does with his legs depends on which way
Yeah, because like the problem people are having, and then it becomes Koichi Makakomi, but the problem where people have was this leg was too far back for Tani. So like, look, I can't reach it, man.
Yeah.
Right? And that's, look, if that's the case, you can go here, you can do other versions of this, or we also talked about going sideways. Versus that. Yes. Because movement side to side.
That's why at the Olympics that reminded me of combining. We almost got to the same year. You got this grip, but then you like pressure and you start rising towards the ramp and the dude went down. It's wild. Like,
I was talking to Arwen about that throw. It's kind of, or essentially a snap down, or essentially a tie pose.
he looked like he pulled himself to the ground. That dude couldn't do anything but like it was pretty cool because I kept expecting him to go in and he just so
And then took him sideways.
and drove.
Yeah, that's like there's a whole series of moves. But that's kind of like this line of movement. Yeah. It can be behind you. You can do that throw sideways.
Sorry, I didn't crush you. I was like, I just don't feel like
No.
any way is
I know. He was showing us last week. He can kind of like
Right? They're from that spot. That's why we're doing it.
like kind of just like he's that quick.
Yeah.
You really do need to be connected.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not gonna tell you this from like it's out. Almost.
Yeah, and I'm so off now.
I'm just trying to be nice like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's I think you're going down.
Yeah, connector. So if somebody grabs my gi though, pull, that's just easy.
Don't go down too far to the back. That is part of it. Right into that. Do it. That way you won't never be overcommitted.
If I'm having a hard time with it.
Like straight.
I know, it's scary. For some reason, your arms are still here for a second. Like, I think we would win. You're sniffing. Like, I think that's fast.
Yeah, I love that. I need that.
It's tricky because you're here, you're trying to be here. It's like a reaction. Okay. Arm drag. Arm drag.
Okay, guys, time. Now, we're going to kind of look at that hip throw entry, but we're actually going to do. Anybody that wants to can review the hip throw, but we're going to do the tie pose. Okay? This is one that is an option anytime you're doing a turning technique, right? What I mean by turning technique is like, look how Soto I say right? The turning technique is one in which, like, okay, I got to the side, so I turned a little bit, but now we're both facing the same direction. Okay, I'm going to control some step here that adds a little weight to that leg, and there's a throw. Right? And you can go knee on belly or arm lock. So our entry, his hands are up. Be heavy on. Come into the side. If you want to come in, remember we got to pull the shoulders through. So we want to get a good clinch here, but then we want to come flip through with our shoulders. We step in front. We also want to drop over this leg here. Right? So I'm just stepping out. Hands are up. Be heavy on them. Come in here. Right? Pull that shoulder through. I'm driving. Okay. See, it's a little, like, normally on a hip throw, here. That's all me straightening my legs and lifting with my hip. This, really just loading him on the hip and then taking his leg out with your calf. Yeah, it's that Hiki and Toshi throw, right? One of McMillan's favorites. He brought it a long time ago.
Ogoshi?
Yeah, well, Ogoshi's around the back, right? Some people call it, it's called, it's even if you don't Hiki and Toshi, right? That's passive.
Are you sweeping your leg back?
No.
What's making the sound?
Imagine like, you ever see the movie Hot Rod? But it's one time watch, you know. But it's like the star of like the third one, right? I got weight there. This is where I'm putting my leg. Sometimes if they're stepping forward, you don't have to use your leg to do anything other than a prop. But here, lifting them up over that leg and I'm rocking.
Say the stomp of the heel.
Yeah, like
This.
There.
like that, right? Like when we're throwing a hook and boxing, we'll stomp our heel.
Yes, sir.
Very similar motion.
Yes.
All right, let's do it. 1, 2. That's how
Tom's going down. I did more than Kazushi at the top. I never learned that block.
It was a whip, though.
It was, but I utilized that. I can't do that.
okay, your leg is already straight. So it's really good. Like, look how my stand here. Hold on, no fence.
If I go up over your hips, so I only know that this is around.
Oh, really?
Sorry. No, I'm sorry. So I'm not gonna tell you this time, but like basically what I'm saying is you were, he's somehow hitting, he's getting the whip. His hips are kind of off.
There. So it can stop there. Yeah. The ground.
What should we do with the bread?
Oh, thanks, Coach.
I see you're already being the new coach. But here. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Turn it far away. You good?
Yeah. I'm good. That one. Nice lap. Which is probably why it didn't hurt like that.
Flat. You should have done a back fall.
Yes, sir.
It's
No,
not
good.
flat. It's still better than it could have been.
Oh, yeah, because I slapped.
But see how there's no like.
He is more
Bigger guy mine
than I was. But look at it. They look awesome. See, it's crazy because he does a little subtle, he does a subtle bump, and when you throw throttles like that, it sends a bump.
Do you want to go ahead and think about
Yeah, I do.
practice and a half.
Sorry.
So you're there, you're finding it a little bit, going down,
Good, man.
like here, and stopping that distance. Let me see. That's not bad. You went out 130 pounds, you know. We're big, you're big boy. Look at it. Alright. What do you weigh there?
Yeah, because I started to think that I could. So the difference.
Part of it is the first time.
I was loaded right there. I'm not catching it.
I felt that.
So what's interesting about this one is I felt like I was going to be, and I was thinking, hey, I can hold body this. But I couldn't because it feels like for a second I could pop out.
Right. He's starting with this. when you go, are you starting here, or are you moving? Are you here and then going?
I go with the hip throw first. And you gotta think about like this. Somebody tries to like step out of my hip. So here, step out of my hip. Oh, yes. Hey guys, look at it in this light. Let's do that again. You already know. Look, I'm here and I come in and he steps out of my hip. That's literally the first defense. Okay? And this is right out. Now, here, that's the counter. You start trying to set up your leg catches. Right? So that is a lens. We can see that technique. We'll do that one more time. So, I come into the side, I go in for the hip. Boom. Tight up. Just, your foot is on the floor. If your foot's not on the floor, you have to go back. That's what we call action. Right? Like here. Then there's Haragoshi, the front of the thigh, over room under the hip. Those are the ways that you use your leg going up and down their leg in terms of technique. Right? I always had success with Haragoshi because I get it for hip throws and people will block. You know, and you can just go like that. That's the one. With your hamstring there, put it between their knee and hip. Right? Okay, so look, tight boots is one that Howard mentioned at the seminar. Right? We just didn't really appropriate time to do it. But we talked about it, you know, so it's like, I believe, like the 11th row. I mean, it's one of the first three in the second group of 8. Right, so we did, you know, hip throws in the first group, total leg throws in the first group. Pony and toe shoots, I believe, third group, but it's typically the first sacrifice throw that people learn. That's that step behind the throw we did. Okay. So let's look at some ways to use the leg grab hip throw. Okay. So Justin puts me in knee on belly. Right? And two, just to avoid the sweep, so go ahead and go all the way across. This is how we do knee on belly right here. Okay? This has to exist for you guys. I really want everybody focused on hooking the hips and going across. And it's, you can go straight across, but if it's slightly up, yeah, that's now you're getting that rib, right? And you're getting my hip control too. Okay? But now I can't scoop under your leg and tip you over backwards. There's space here, they can do that. Okay? So, look, there is a way to hip here, but what we're going to work is I bind the hip with my elbow and I grab, I like this feeling behind my knee. Now, just like we were going on our side earlier, we do this with a hip shuffle. You come up, you're already blocking his hip, and you can transition to north-south. So hips controlled here, and then the head's controlling the hip on the other side. Now if he moves, I'm already isolating and attacking an arm. Right there. Okay? So, hit a good knee on belly on him. Hands on the shoulders, good. You can't go under my foot. It's hooking his hip, it's hugging. So, once I establish this control, step outside. You're getting in that pyramid position is what Vernon's called it, right? Move your hips that way. Up. Come. Yes. Good. Now, just kind of telephone that. Yes. Good. Yeah. See, he's already in the perfect spot for a follow-up. Sometimes you might need to shift your hips like a back step. Sometimes it's more of a setup. Set up like this. But that's a timing. Okay? So this is just, when we're warming up, I said, hey, you can use your leg grab. That's just doing this hip escape to the side. And as I try and get this shoulder on the mat, I'm adding weight through that elbow and frame to their hip and make them sit down. Makes sense? Let's work on that one too.
These would be good for it.
Right out. Yes, to get your knee right here. Yes, you can back step for all of that. And then too, Justin, we hadn't really talked about this, but this is definitely a thing. If they start down, yeah, the kind of condition there. But it's just like, and like when you back step around, sometimes people start trying to do this, and it is, or put me in an orthodox more. If I'm doing this, perfect. Now back step. Boom. Now, like it's, I start doing something like this. So if they turn away, that's kind of the situation we've been talking about. But that Mike should be showing. Try and get this foot.
When we drill, of course, then it's a lot nicer when we get off.
Get the foot hooked in the hip all the time. Any other way is safe.
Okay. There you go.
You got to him up on his side. Yeah, and then you start attacking your arm off, fall back with arm bar.
Especially with that, they may do that out of self-preservation.
Yeah. Yeah, put that like where her elbow's at. It's like a heel hook. Yeah. Now, me go right. Even if it's this here, then you can get your wrist. Then you can use that against this. You
tried that one on me the other day.
Right, like when I start going to
What happens?
Oh, you need to get my arm.
People start.
where it's like here it's harder for me to like maybe get some control.
Oh, really?
Like you have to hook them under. If you can hook under that elbow, you can start prying it away from the body. Okay, guys, let's look at one more. It's the same exact move, but it's a different situation. And then you can just throw both. Like the goal, it's like to me, it's the same. It's like okay, now I defend my arm triangle the same way as I defend the elbow, right? So it's just kind of a 2-for-1, right? And I use this type of hip escape on a lot of techniques, so it's really something you can take away a lot from it. So I've taken away a lot from it. So put me in an arm triangle, please. So with this arm triangle, you'll see it's called katagatami. And what happens is your arm gets pushed across like this. That's bad. We don't want that to happen. There's several ways I know how to get out of this. This is one of my favorites. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to add weight to your scapula. Right? Now, I'm doing that by focusing on getting this shoulder flat on the mat and transferring weight from my elbow as I move my hips this way. Boom. Then I'm coming into this frame in a valley tudo guard. Right? I can just start isolating. There's the arm lock, omoplata. Some more, I can put your hand on the mat. Just like all our valley tudo guard submissions we work on. Triangle. Right? So, when this is happening, look, go for here, move your hips away, then I frame you. If he pursues, put this foot on the mat and hip escape away, keep it in there. One thing that I find interesting is like, Dream really emphasizes putting this foot on the hip a lot, right? He's a 50 degree, you know? I'm like, oh, I wonder why he does that. But like I saw it, just kind of noticed it recently, it's a commonality. So look, there's a certain point too where like if you're doing this kind of guard replacement, this really comes in handy, right? I think it's especially good for a small player, and I have talked to him about this, but I bet it's something he probably also does because he has two artificial hips. And he's 62. Okay? But it allows you to kind of walk when you do it, right? So this is kind of two ways I teach to defend in one. Like I break his grip, boom. Then I come here and I've got a frame. If he tries to push that arm back across, boom. Boom. Right. Right? And just keep this away from his body. We don't want him getting this back. I got the end of the lever. Just monitoring the strike there. Okay. So does that make sense? Okay. I feel like we're wrong. Alright. I will say something about this. The workers here. I'm changing on my phone to right here. For you guys.
And they're rolling up.
Like that early 2000s, late 90s song. It's a chill playlist. We had some Goo Goo Dolls, Iris.
Yeah, I put that on. You like it?
No, we don't. Alright.
It was making me feel good.
It makes me want to.
Everybody work on the old hip shuffle arm triangle.
Justin and I are gonna cuddle over here after.
Women are coming in with a lot of.
We're doing side mount, just like hugging each other.
Neither one of us wear shirts under our pajamas.
Got a katana. Do you want to do it or do you want to?
All right, sure.
Oh, I never done.
Alright, so, yeah, now come in.
Yeah.
Yes, that.
You want to have.
When you come in, say you have your arm, can you come in and
Point the knee down. Yes. If you point that knee down, closing your hip, you can do it. See, if you just had time, you were almost neutral to doing my thing.
Uh-huh.
It's not a pin. Yeah, that's not good right now. I really want to control it. Like, look, I'm going to get like water. I want to pour it. Right? It's not even really an option. And then we have to do this triangle. Suck something down. Justin. Get there. Give it an arm drag, remember? See, when we last did that sweep in class, I showed up like a handful of others, and then you hit that one like within a week. But that's how that. Yes. Yeah, now he's broken. As soon as his grip is broken.
Yeah, feel free to put that.
If he goes flat like that, you can go to the back take. Or potentially an arm lock like you kind of touched on. Belly down, hitting on the back of the neck.
why don't you bring it up going into it though?
Well, if you like, if they're real stubborn, you pull them off their base and here, it does flatten. You know, but then they're probably going to suck their knees back up. And that's really hard to follow.
Okay, let me go. Yeah, there it is. Dude, that's pulling all the way down through my butt.
There it
I'm
is.
so stressed out.
Yeah, hey, you know when she does that, you got that sneak. Remember that? I might kind of do that too. Probably. I don't know if you were here. But look, if you got her arm over here, and she tries to square up. Yes, yes. That's a pendulum. Yeah. That's like one of the ones I showed at the end of class that day. Justin, yeah, training. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
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 There's that triangle. Good. You need to get grab your foot on the hip. Yeah, grab your own hip. There you go. Nice. Good. You'll get to where you're doing those along the way. You don't have to take I always, when I forget to do something, then I just usually grab my belt. I'm just doing this stuff while I'm going for the triangle.
Yeah, I didn't bet also I felt maybe that did. I felt maybe.
Yeah, it was more of a naturally just kind of felt to that point.
Well, no,
It wasn't Valentino, I don't know why.
it's that already.
I kind of like, it felt right. So I didn't do it. I could tell by that too. So maybe, but then I got to be ready because if I'll be able to posture if I go down. There's nothing I can do like that. When you're belly down, like dude, I'm literally,
Which is probably not like it, but
one thing he's doing, right?
Oh, what I observed him do is he's going like this. Like he's not just
You had to refuse and allow me to do this so that I couldn't.
Yes. Watching him do this because I'm trying to like lift my hip to get my, but I'm not moving my head. So when you do that, it kind of just does it.
what's happening? Same posture as this, because somebody faces kind of strong what is strong? We're actually kind of relying on your knees.
Stretch. No, stretch.
It's all the time. Okay, guys, let's bring it in. How are we doing on that concept of the leg grab or the hip shove? Yes.
On the last one, I don't know if this is part of it, but like what I had to do most of the time was I had to really shoulder walk because I couldn't reach, so I had to shoulder walk so I could get some more mobility
Yes.
with my arm. And then whenever I did break that grip, and am I trying to frame on the neck there? Or am I
Yes.
trying to just, okay.
So let me show you the three phases that I teach this. Okay, first is the troll. Hey Justin, push my arm across and put me in an arm triangle. Brought to you by base, my foot on the mat with my knee training in. Okay, now let's say, so guys, techniques and time. Okay, let's say he does push it across. You shoulder walk. Then I go back to the first. Okay, push it across and get your hands together. Like I timed it, like, okay, it was a little deeper. This is kind of three ways to look at it. Those others were really early phases. Okay, now I kind of run that move in reverse, here, here. Now I'm framing here. That's what we're talking about, going both feet on the hips. Kind of crawling up to this value to over where I can attack. Okay.
Coach, phase 2 where you're shoulder walking back, your next step, if you get free, is to enter the same Valido guard through.
Probably, yeah. You know, if they're like really aggressive and they're still timing, they're still right on top of me, I might try and control their posture with a closed guard. Okay. But you know, Valentino guard, I kind of consider it as like flanking someone, right? Like closed guard, a lot of times where, you know, their head's down, I want to control your posture, but I would prefer to be off to the side and attacks, right? And, you know, think about it in like a strategic sense. Armies don't like that. I'm being flanked over here. They're outflanking me. Like there's terms for it, right? So, I like to think about it that way. And I'm way less susceptible to a lot of your guard passes if I can control a side type of guard. We call it side guard where both hands are on one side. If you could have an underhook, that's kind of what happened off this okay. Last pseudo guard in here, it was off of an overhook. Chris Howder taught overhook closed guard in his system. Right?
Practice that thing when you try to open the stiff arm and shoulder walk like.
Oh, great idea. Great idea. You know what was interesting? So this is like where I observed. I did this to help Mr. Dream do this Zoom private lessons for these people as they leave, I believe. Which is only like 1 hour time difference. You think it'd be, but no, it's kind of anyway. But one thing he said that is kind of cool is he called it a heart-shaped grip. Right? So like I'm doing this with my hands. you know, if somebody has a good head arm control, it can be real frustrating. This is what we're talking about, right? Sit arm. Yeah, so we gotta break this. And people also, like Kyle, is really good at this. So control your shoulder with this head. Very frustrating, right? And people do it, like I was doing it when I did the neo belly escape to isolate this arm when I was going to north-south and stuff, right? So we don't want this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook in and grab this shoulder. I'm gonna pull it away. But I'm gonna do this as I do this with this head. This is the heart shape. Right? So I'm here. And then I do exactly what Howie's saying. Hey, I had to kind of shoulder walk. Good. That's part of the answer, right? One of the defenses is shoulder walk. Sometimes to get away from them, you don't hip out. You shoulder walk. We talked about that in the warm-up. So heart shape grip here. Look how that pulled his grip apart. And I did the shoulder walk. Now watch here. Boom. Right? Keep this elbow like thumb down, right? If you're just trying to do it here, it's going to be able to get the wrist lock there. Right? So here, boom, and I can start pulling it back into a side guard. Right? And be right back into some of the same things that we were looking for. Perfect. Right? So again, I like to just think about the side guards. I'm blanking you, and I have, or you have different arm placements. Overhook, underhook, you have both arms on one side, which is what we saw there. Okay? Now, you do that to me. Right, okay, great. Why my head's not moving good enough? Right? You stabbed me wrong. That's it. There you go. Right. You guys know what I'm talking about, the increase, you know what I'm saying? The crown of my thumb. Like, okay, so don't let me move you. Don't let me move you. Yeah, okay. Alright? Yeah, okay. Oh, guys, I don't like that. Right? Yeah. That's terrible. I was really trying to hold on and it made it terrible. And then, well, he made me just totally abandon everything and I had to, I was standing up, like, what am I doing? Right? So, I was holding him in side control. But, that shoulder walk, right? And then two, levers, right? The head is the end of the lever of the body. That's how to think about it, right? We talk about controlling the thumb on an arm bar. End of the lever. As far as I can get, like every time I was throwing and simulating an arm bar, I was grabbing right there. And as soon as you get, well, it's because I'm at the end of the lever. It don't take a lot. And it's like a lot of times people are doing this. No tension there. That's tension. But it's just like, I just did that. I just flexion and took a little slack out and I pulled his arm over. We also talk about taking slack out and pulling for submission finish. Alright. He did that one last week. You know, and I'll shoot a video or something of that one. But that was a really cool one. Drew showed. Well, then I kind of worked those into class last week. It's kind of an escaping side control overview Wednesday. Right? Any other questions before we roll? Cool. Alright, let's partner up 1, 2.
Man, it's been a month since I've bowled.
Hey, how'd you do? I looked
Well,
for
it's doing
I looked for the results online. I couldn't find them anywhere.
You know,
Are you caveman?
nominated.
Did you really?
I wish I could say that sarcastically, but I was in the wrong position.
What do you mean? I'm so confused.
Oh, I killed him, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
No damn.
His first guy had like 9 fights, you know, but the second guy,
So you won the whole thing?
go!
Congrats, dude.
Now he's 67.
I looked online. Their website's terrible.
Bro, look on our social media.
I don't
You can just go to the browser like Randy Milton does.
Can you
and
really?
type in, wait for it, facebook.com / Marshall Howie. Oh. This is the post we made about Howie Lumber.
Oh wow.
Yeah. You were one of them.
I wasn't, but I will be 30,001, coach.
But you did do a combo where
I'm trying to
He
hit
got
like my foot like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
that side. How do you